Hello everybody and welcome back in the shop. As you can probably tell by now, I got a new welding helmet. And it's one of those auto darkening ones. Problem is that I don't have a welder here for the moment, so we are gonna have to come up with a way to test it out. And I have something in mind. Now this is a nice little thing. And my welds are getting better. Okay, maybe I had a cold start here, but overall it looks decent. Okay, I'm cutting the crap. Next week we're gonna have a welder. And to me it's gonna be quite special. Like this helmet here. This one was gifted to me by one of you guys, Jean-Luc, aka Multiscan. Many thanks buddy, it's gonna come really handy. And now we're back to our regular video flow. Today we put the 4th axis to use. I am messing with you. Let's take it a few steps back. Okay folks, this little thing is now spinning. So this blue fancy structure up here is a 4th axis setup that we made in the last video for this machine. And if you got that till the end, you would agree that I was left to do the wiring. Well, I did. Forgive me for the mess of cables back here. Things are much simpler than they look. So this machine is running on an Arduino Mega, a RAMPS 1.4 Shield, and a version of Marlin modified by Tron Kong Man. As you may or may not know, Marlin is designed for 3D printers, which also have 3 axes: X, Y, and Z. But in 3D printers there's also a need for the molten plastic filament to be pushed through some tiny nozzles and be laid down to make whatever fancy part you are printing. This molten plastic pushing procedure is called extrusion, and the devices used for that are called, guess what? Extruders. And they are nothing more than steppers and some gears. So the need for those extra steppers is also why you can see those extra 2 places to hook a stepper up here on the ramp shield. One here and one down there. And one of them I'm using for our rotary axis. It is this one. Last time I also said that the 4th axis on these machines are usually called the A-axis. But in this case our firmware thinks that the 4th axis here is made to extrude plastic. So it is called E-axis. This is just a detail, but it's a detail you should remember when you go making your G-code for a 4-axis operation. Another thing that you should know if you're gonna use this firmware is this one. There is a safety feature inside Marlin that prevents cold extrusions. In other words, your extruders won't work until your nozzle reaches a temperature high enough to melt the plastic. But guess what? We don't have neither plastic nor nozzle here. So you'll have to find this feature inside your firmware shader files and comment it out. It is this one, under the configuration tab. Also there is one that prevents long extrusions. Make sure to comment this out too. We want to travel a full 360 here. And then you have to calibrate your new axis. Define how many motor steps are needed to move your chuck for 1 degree. I'll throw my configuration file in the description of this video if you want to have a look, but let me walk you through real quick. I know that the stepper motor I am using has to move for 200 steps either way to make a full rev. So there is that. Then I am operating the little driver controlling this in 1/64th mode, which gives me 12,800 microsteps per revolution, and we already know that there are 360 degrees in a full rev, so I need to make almost 36 steps per degree, and this is what is written inside my configuration file. But you know what? I've been talking for too long now, while I believe we all gonna see this thing working.
Words would be rubber if actions were glue. Slightly left of the heightened, frightened children building millions of billions. Half-assed new like the slippery distant crystal sea, like the birds on a tree. Their home in the sky is likely to die when I turn the slay serene to fry. Oomph and a woof like a womb of a whale. It shot right up but got caught in our sail. Sailed ever faster towards land with my master plan. Establish a relationship with a clan. Oh, simply infinity, proximity of soul, aphrodisiac in the center of it all. Who's imitating the Zulu nation would sooner die than be confused with the Haitian. Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe I tried squeezing too many letters on such a little dowel. Maybe I didn't mount that square up there. Or maybe engraving a dowel isn't too fascinating to start with. But technically speaking, I'm quite fascinated right now. So this little thing works like a charm. For a first run I know. And that's good enough for me for today. So I think I will leave the fancier stuff for next time, when we will also talk a bit about G-code. In fact, making your G-code for such an operation is maybe the trickiest part here. So until next time fellas, thank you all for being here, and have a nice one.